Assalamualaikum and very good morning everyone. Okay, how are you today? Okay, I hope you are always in high motivation to learn. Okay, sebelum kita mulakan kelas hari ini, cikgu nak bagi satu tip ya untuk belajar biologi. Okay, so apa tipnya? Right? Okay, so selepas kamu belajar subtopik kita pada hari ini, so pastikan pada waktu petang ni ataupun malam ni kamu akan study balik ya, akan study semula apa yang dipelajari supaya nanti dia akan kekal dalam kamu punya ingatan ya, and then it will get easier for you to do your revision. Okay, that is the tip for today. Okay, so let's continue to the chapter 2. Okay, we still in the chapter 2. Right, okay, we are going to cover 2.3 main organ for photosynthesis. Okay, look at the learning standards. Okay, pupils are able to, okay, first you have to cover justify the necessity of photosynthesis in plant. Okay, then number 2, relate the adaptation of internal structure of a leaf to photosynthesis. Okay, identify structure of chloroplast that consists of the granum, thylakoid and stroma. Okay, number 4, relate light dependent and light independent reactions in photosynthesis. Okay, number 5, write a chemical equation to represent the process of photosynthesis. And the last one for today, compare and contrast light dependent and light independent reactions in photosynthesis. Okay, so these are the learning standards that we are going to cover for today. Okay, now we look at the first learning standard, the necessity of photosynthesis. Yeah, necessity, the importance of photosynthesis in plant. Okay, so plants are autotrophic organisms. What is autotrophic organism? It is referred to the organism that can produce their own food through photosynthesis. So all plants are autotrophic organisms. Okay, then the product of photosynthesis, okay, which is glucose, is used by other organisms to generate energy. Yeah, through oxidation of food, or in other words, through respiration. Okay, energy is needed to carry out living process such as growth and reproduction. Okay, that is the necessity of photosynthesis in plant. Okay, now we will look at the brief history of discovery of photosynthesis. Okay, sejarah sejarah penemuan photosynthesis. So there is a it's not a few, actually a lot of the experiment carried out of many scientists, but we are going to discuss only 2 scientists here. Yeah? Okay, the first scientist is John Baptista van Helman. Okay, yeah? And the second one is Joseph Priestley. Okay, so we look at first John Baptista van Helman. Yeah? In 1640s, John Baptista van Helman carried out an experiment to test the idea that plants obtain their food from the soil. Okay, so what did he do? Okay, so first, he weighed the seedling, yeah. Okay, the seedling weighed 2.3 kg, and then, right, and then he put 90 kg of dried soil. Okay, and then plant was watered for 5 years. Yeah, then after 5 years, okay, what happened to the plant? Plant will grow, right? Will grow after 5 years, and then the plant weight is 77 kg, and the soil is still 90 kg, which is referred to the dried soil. Okay, so that is referred to the Van Helman experiment. So what is the conclusion? The plant had grown by only being watered and not from the water of the soil. Okay, that is what the Helmans conclude about this experiment. Yeah? The plant had grown by only being water and not from the water of the soil. Okay, so the idea of what? The idea that plants obtain their food from the soil. Okay, and the second experiment here carried out by the Joseph Priestley. Here, a rat was placed in an inverted glass jar. And then what happened to the rat? Rat died. Okay, when a plant was placed inside an inverted glass jar with a rat, okay, the rat lived, right? Okay, the rat lived. So, what is the conclusion? Priestley conclusion here. Plants release oxygen. Okay, that is two discovery that related to the photosynthesis, right? Okay, first carried out by the Van Helman, and the second one carried out by the Priestley, Joseph Priestley. Okay, now we are going to look at the adaptation of the internal structure of a leaf to photosynthesis. Ya. Adaptation ini bermaksud penyesuaian. Ya. So adaptation refer to the penyesuaian of the internal structure. So we already learned the internal structure of a leaf. Okay, still remember? Okay, so look at this diagram. Okay, so what is this? Do you still remember? So this is referred to the, what is it? Cuticle, right? Okay, this one is referred to the upper epidermis, and this one referred to the palisade mesophyll, yeah. Okay, and then this one referred to the spongy mesophyll, and this one, okay, this is referred to the lower epidermis, and here this is vascular bundles. Okay, there is about 4 adaptation actually. Right, okay, we look at first at the upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Okay, what is the adaptation on this part? Okay, transparent waxy cuticle on the upper and lower epidermis. Okay, so that is the first adaptation on the lower and upper epidermis. Yeah, there is a transparent waxy cuticle. Okay, that allows sunlight to penetrate the upper and lower epidermis into the palisade mesophyll. Okay, number 2, stomata present in the lower epidermis. Okay, stomata present in the lower epidermis. Yeah. Okay, in the presence of light, stomata open and allow gases exchange to occur. Okay, that is the adaptation on the lower and upper epidermis. Okay, number 2. Adaptation on the palisade mesophyll. Yeah, the palisade mesophyll packed with chloroplasts. Yeah, and so it enables sunlight to be absorbed at a maximum rate. Yeah, maximum rate. Okay, number 2, chloroplasts contain chlorophyll. And this chlorophyll absorbs light energy for photosynthesis. Okay, yeah? So this is palisade mesophyll packed with the chloroplasts. And then the chloroplast consists of chlorophyll. Okay, number 2, okay, this one 2A, then 2B. We go to the spongy mesophyll. So this is spongy mesophyll. Yeah. What is the adaptation of the spongy mesophyll? They contains a lesser amount of chloroplast compared to the palisade mesophyll. Yeah, contain lesser amount of chloroplast. Yeah, and they also contain airspace. Yeah, contain airspace. Yeah, airspace is very important. Yeah, why? Because it will allow efficient gases exchange during photosynthesis. Okay, then we go to the vascular bundles. Okay, vascular bundles consist of xylem. Yeah, xylem that transport water and mineral salts absorbed from the root to the leaf. Yeah, And then the vascular bundle also consists of the phloem. Yeah, this phloem transport sucrose, produced by the photosynthesis from the leaf to all parts of the plants. Okay, so these are all adaptation of the internal structure of a leaf to photosynthesis. Yeah, that relate to the photosynthesis. So make sure you can know what is the adaptation and what structure are involved here. Okay. Okay, now we look at the chloroplast structure. Okay, why chloroplast is very important here? Can you relate with the photosynthesis? Okay, so what is the function of the chloroplast? So the function of the chloroplast is as a site for photosynthesis, right? Okay, as a site of photosynthesis. Okay, a chloroplast contains chlorophyll to absorb sunlight, yeah, and converts it into chemical energy during photosynthesis. Yeah, a chloroplast consists of thylakoid, grana, stroma, and lamellae. Right? Okay, so these are the components of the chloroplast. So why we should know the structure of the chloroplast? Okay, it is because this structure are important in photosynthesis, right? Okay, so now we look at the structure of the chloroplast. So this is referred to the thylakoid here. Yeah, okay, this is thylakoid. Okay, what is thylakoid? Thylakoid is a disc-shaped sac, yeah, containing chlorophyll. So in thylakoid membrane, there are photosynthetic pigments that trap sunlight. So light-dependent reaction occurs in a thylakoid. So the disc shape here, structure here is referred to the thylakoid. Okay, and then this is the granum. Granum or grana. Okay, granum is singular, grana is plural. Okay, so all of these are grana. So one here is as a granum. Okay, what is a granum? A disc-shaped stack of thylakoid. Yeah, a disc-shaped stack of thylakoid. Yeah, okay, this arrangement increases the surface area for optimal photosynthesis. Okay, so these are granum or grana. Okay, we look at the stroma. Okay, stroma here. So stroma refer to the fluid, cecair, fluid. So what is stroma? Colorless fluid surrounding granum in the chloroplast. Yeah. So stroma is a site for light-independent reaction to take place which produce glucose. Okay. So what is this reaction? We are going to look at the next slide. Okay, don't worry. And then the lamellae, right? Okay, the lamellae is just the connector. Yeah, connector between the granule. Yeah, connector between the granule. Okay, so these are all the structure of chloroplast. Okay, I repeat. So this is thylakoid. So this is the granum. Yeah, the granum or grana. Yeah, and then this is the stroma. Okay, stroma is the fluid inside the chloroplast. Yeah? Okay, and then this is the lamellae. Okay, lamellae is a connector between the granum. Okay. Okay. Look at this one. Yeah. Chromatography method. Yeah. Chromatography method. Okay. So how many types of photosynthetic how many types of photosynthetic pigments in leaf are involved to produce the green color of a plant? Okay, actually there is a a few types of the photosynthetic pigment, yeah, in the chloroplast, right? Okay, so in the chloroplast. So these photosynthetic pigments is very important in photosynthesis, right? Okay, so okay, do you know that the chromatography method can be used to separate the photosynthetic pigment in a leaf? Right? Okay, so what is chromatography? Chromatography is a technique separating components of a mixture based on the difference in solubility, yeah, of the components in a certain solvent. Okay, so it means that the chromatography is a technique that we want to separate the component of the leaf, right? The component. So in this experiment, okay, in this chromatography method, okay, so we are going to separate the photosynthetic pigments in a leaf, right? Photosynthetic pigments in a leaf that involved in photosynthesis, right? Okay, is there just only a chlorophyll that involved in the photosynthesis? Actually, there is a few more, right? Few more photosynthetic pigments in the leaf, yeah, that involved in the photosynthesis. So, how can we separate the pigment? By using the chromatography method, yeah? Okay. Alright, okay. So, if you want to refer to the photosynthetic pigments, yeah, photosynthetic pigments that related to the photosynthesis, you can look at your textbook, yeah. Okay, look at your textbook on page 43. Okay, look at the bio exploration right there. So you can look at there. There is a table, yeah, plant pigments, yeah, plant pigments that involve in the photosynthesis, yeah, such as chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenoid, yeah, xanthophyll, pheophytin. Okay, don't worry, you don't have to memorize all this. You just have to know they are photosynthetic pigments that involve in the photosynthesis. As the stages in photosynthesis, yeah, there are two main stages in photosynthesis, yeah, which are light-dependent reaction and another one is light-independent reaction. So light-dependent reaction occurs in the thylakoids. Yeah? Light-independent reaction occurs in the stroma. Okay. So what do you mean by light-dependent reaction? The reaction occurs in the presence of sunlight. Yeah. Okay. Light-independent reaction means that the reaction occurs without sunlight. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now, so let's discuss the light-dependent reaction. Yeah, light-dependent reaction occur in the presence of light. Yeah. Okay, first, what happened? The photosynthetic pigment on the surface of the thylakoids absorb light energy. Yeah, absorb light energy from the sunlight. Yeah, okay. Then what happened? Light excited, yeah, light energy excites electron. Yeah, it excites electrons in the chlorophyll pigment to a higher level and it leaves the chlorophyll. Okay, I repeat. The light energy excites the electron in the chlorophyll pigment to a higher level and then the electron leaves the chlorophyll. Yeah? Okay, number 3, the chlorophyll pigment attracts electron from the water. Okay, so why the chlorophyll pigment attract electron from the water? Because the electron just now leave the chlorophyll and cause the chlorophyll pigment become positively charged, right? So to become stable, the chlorophyll pigment attract electron, yeah, from the water via photolysis. Yeah, okay. So what is a photolysis? Photolysis is a process whereby water molecules are broken down to form hydrogen ions, yeah, and hydroxide ion, yeah, in the presence of light energy and the chlorophyll. Alright, okay, so can you? Okay, I repeat. Photolysis is a process whereby water molecules are broken down to form hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. Yeah. Okay, photolysis occur because of chlorophyll pigment attract electron from the water, yeah, to become stable. Okay, so after photolysis occur, what ions are produced? It will produce hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. And then number 5, hydroxide ions lost the electron. Yeah, okay. Why the hydroxide ion lost the electron? Because taken by the chlorophyll pigment. And then the hydroxide ion will form into hydroxyl group, yeah, because loss of the electron. And then the hydroxyl group will combine to each other and form oxygen and water. Okay, so that's how the oxygen form. Okay, I repeat, the hydroxide ion lost the electron and form hydroxyl group. And this hydroxyl group combine to each other and form oxygen and water. The excited electron from the chlorophyll go through a series of electron carriers. Yeah, okay. So the energy from the electrons is used to generate energy in the form of ATP. Okay, what does it mean? It means that the ATP is produced here during the excited electron go through a series of electron carriers. Yeah. Okay. Then number 7. Eventually, these electrons are accepted by the last electron acceptor, yeah, which is the NADP plus. Yeah, okay. So the NADP plus then combine with the hydrogen ions, yeah, that comes from the photolysis of water, and then form NADPH, which is a reducing agent that will be used in the light independent reaction. Okay, so these are the mechanism of the light dependent reaction. Yeah, okay. So these are what happen during light dependent reaction. Okay, next we go to the light independent reaction. Okay, light independent reaction occurs in the stroma, yeah, without the presence of sunlight. Okay, number 1. 5 carbon organic compounds, yeah? 5 carbon organic compounds, fixed carbon dioxide gases, yeah? Carbon dioxide gases that absorb, yeah, through the stoma, yeah, to form 6 carbon organic compounds, yeah? Okay, that was the first thing occur. The number 2, NADPH, yeah? NADPH and ATP. Yeah, okay, from the light dependent reaction, reduce the organic compounds to the glucose monomer. Right, okay. Then number 3, the glucose monomers condense to form starch molecules, and then the starch granules are stored in the stroma of chloroplast. Okay, so these are what happen during light independent reaction. Okay, so I repeat, first thing is the 5 carbon organic compound fixed with the carbon dioxide to form 6 carbon organic compound, and then the NADPH and ATP that form a light dependent reaction reduce the organic compound to the glucose monomer, and then the glucose monomer condense to each other and form the starch. If form the starch, So the starch are stored in the stroma of chloroplast. Okay, I hope you can understand that, right? Okay, so all these processes, all these two mechanisms produce the general equation of photosynthesis. Okay, so the six carbon dioxide that comes from the light independent reaction, right? Okay, and then the 12 molecule of the hydrogen, 12 molecule of the water is from light dependent reaction. And then with the presence of the sunlight that occur in the chlorophyll, yeah, so it will produce what? Okay, the glucose or carbohydrate, yeah, from the light independent reaction, and also produce 6 molecule of oxygen from light dependent reaction. Okay, so the 6 molecule of water also from light dependent and also light independent reaction. So make sure you can memorize this equation. Yeah, can memorize this equation correctly. Okay, now we go to the comparison. Yeah, comparison. Perbandingan ya between the light dependent and light independent reaction in the photosynthesis. Okay, what are the similarities? Okay, first they are catalyzed by enzyme. Yeah, catalyzed by the enzyme take place in the chloroplast. Okay, so these are the two similarities. Yeah, we go to the first difference. Okay, go to the green color. Yeah, green color here. The site of reaction, yeah, for the light dependent reaction occur in the thylakoid, yeah, and then light independent reaction occur in the stroma. And then we go to the pink color here. The light dependent reaction involve photolysis of water. Okay, so make sure you can remember what is the photolysis of water. So what is the photolysis of water? It is a breakdown of molecule of water into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Yeah. And for the light independent reaction, it involves reduction of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. So what happened there? The 5 carbon organic compound fixed with the carbon dioxide, and then we'll convert that into the glucose. So the process is called as reduction of carbon dioxide. Okay, next we go to the purple color here. Light dependent reaction, yeah. So reaction substance, okay, water. So water is needed in the light dependent reaction. So what are the products? Okay, oxygen and water molecules. Yeah, oxygen comes from hydroxide ion, yeah, that lost the electron, yeah, and then it will form hydroxyl group and combine to each other and form oxygen and water also. Okay, for the light independent reaction, so reaction substance needed here is carbon dioxide, and the reaction product here is the glucose. Yeah. Okay, last one. Light dependent reaction produce ATP. Yeah, produce ATP. So how does ATP is produced? When the electron go through a series of electron carriers, yeah, so it will produce ATP, yeah, and then in the light independent reaction it use ATP, yeah, to reduce of carbon dioxide into the glucose. Okay, so these are the comparison that you need to memorize, yeah. So please memorize the similarities and also the differences between the light dependent reaction and also light independent reaction. Okay, so this one in the form of the table. Okay, maybe easier for you to understand, right? Okay, so please go through one by one. Okay, please understand. And then, okay, if you don't understand, please ask me. Right? So we stop here for the main organ of the photosynthesis part 1, yeah? And then we will continue later. Alright? Okay, so thank you for today. Yeah? Right, okay, thank you girls.